Hi, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Driven Dave here. I've got a little video. We're going to cover a little bit more in depth, like I hate to say quirks and features, but we're going to go through kind of some of these individual menus. If you're considering getting a Tesla, or maybe you already have one and you want to know a little more, hopefully this is helpful. I rented this Model 3 long range. It's a 2021. And so I'm kind of checking it out to see if I like it, and just kind of get some time behind the wheel and the controls and all of that. So here we go. We're going to take a look here. So kind of when you turn the car on, oftentimes you'll just kind of see the map here. Currently, I'm at one of my favorite hotels in Las Vegas, and I don't know if you can see this, they have free Tesla chargers. Pretty fantastic, because we're going to be driving back to LA tomorrow, and you can see, got my charge going. 38 miles an hour, not bad, especially for free, and I can park here all night, which is great. Now I try to be courteous and move it in the morning, you know, when I wake up. Not everybody that parks in these spots is so nice. But tonight, I'm the only Tesla, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm checking out tomorrow, so whatever. So the nice thing is I can be plugged in. I'm in camping mode right now, so I've got the AC going. And just thought I would take y'all for a little tour. If you like content like this, if you're into things automotive, and you'd like to see some more Tesla content as well, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, please comment down below, say hi. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to answer any questions or comments or whatever. I'd love to hear from you out there. So drop me a comment if you can. That would be great. It'd be nice to get to know you. So you can see here the main diagram of the car. When you start moving, this is going to turn forward. You'll actually see like the taillights when you hit the brakes, or let off the accelerator. If you've got one pedal driving enabled, you'll see the brake lights turn on. It's kind of cool. You'll also see like the headlights turn on when you have those on. So really neat little feature there. Up here you see 263 miles of range. If I tap that, it's going to change to percentage, which is pretty cool. I like seeing how many miles I got. And then if you tap on the battery, it's going to bring up the charging menu. It's kind of a little shortcut for that, which is cool. You can see I've got this thing set for, pretty much max, because, we're going to be hitting the freeway tomorrow, and I'd like to go as far as possible before we have to hit the supercharger. Pretty cool. And then if you but you can move this slider around. You can see here. Come on. Okay, well, ideally you can move this slider. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can change kind of the level of charge. And I guess if you own one of these, you don't want to charge it to maximum like that all the time. But like I said, for what we're doing, that's ideal for right now for this trip. And you can change the current at this location, but I don't really know anything about that. So there you have it. It'll also show you your last supercharge. So spent 21 bucks in Yermo. Pretty cool Eddy world there. I like it. It's fun. So if you're heading to Vegas from LA, you'll probably be hitting that for some desserts and snacks. Pretty cool. But in any case, let's get back to the original screen. And you'll notice you can just kind of slide that out of the way. It's going to bring your map back. A couple things with the map. You can change the orientation. North facing. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Sorry, it's just hard to do this one-handed. But yeah, you can kind of see, there we are. You can see where we're at and which direction we're facing. So I kind of like it like that. And then of course here you've got your navigation. Choose your destination. Highly recommend Sequest if you have kids. Very cool. Also, Sam's Town, go check out the Mystic Falls show. I believe it's at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Big fan of that, and it's super cool. And it's free, especially if you have kids. We like that. There you can see our charge limit, 355 miles, 38 miles an hour. We've already added 112 free miles, baby. And all of that. You got your controls here. This is how you lock and unlock the doors. Took me a little while to figure that out. So really good to know, especially if you're sitting in a car at midnight in downtown Las Vegas. I'd recommend having the doors locked. Just saying, not a bad idea. We're not going to open the frunk right now, but that's how you open it. You just tap open, and same with the trunk, and then same with the charging door. So you can open all of those by just tapping right there. I'll try not to make this too long-winded, but if you've been on my channel before, you know that I tend to do that. Anyway, if you tap here, you've got kind of, I can make it cooler in here if I want, and warmer, and I believe, yeah, you can do it. You can slide either way, which is cool. And there's some quick commands right here, which is great. Or if you tap on where the temperature is, it's going to bring up the climate for you right there. You've got, I just leave it on auto, and of course you know how to adjust these vents. You just kind of with your finger there, and that's cool. You can turn on the heated steering wheel. Hey, come back. If your car is equipped right there, although, you know, don't need that. It's summertime in Vegas. We're good. And here's how you you can keep the temperature in the car a certain degree, or dog mode if you're going to leave your dog here, or camp mode, also very good. The dog mode worked out great today. I had to run into the store. I left my wife and daughter in the car, and since we're renting this car, I don't have the phone app, so I can't just condition the inside with the app, so I have to use the stupid little Tesla credit card, and it's super annoying. So the car will just turn off if I leave. So dog mode was awesome, and we got a good laugh out of that. Also down here, you can control your heated seats, which is great. You can also toggle to the rear and get the rear fan on or off. Credit where credit's due, because I have some choice things to say about this car, but the heated seats are great, like really good. And also the rear fan is pretty powerful. It just comes out of the center vents in the rear here, but man, it blows, man. It's good. So I appreciate that with my kids back there. I want to keep them cool. Very nice. I may not have time to go through every control, but we'll try and do just a general overview. Your main thing here is the car button down at the lower left, or whatever you want to call that. So you just tap that. It's going to bring up your controls. This is kind of, you got a lot of stuff here where normally, you know, you'd have buttons on the steering wheel, or you'd have buttons somewhere, but it's all here. Love it or hate it, that's the deal. You can adjust how your headlights work. I've got them on auto. You can fold the mirrors. You can do the child lock, window lock. Here's how you open the glove box. I'll admit it's kind of cool, but why couldn't we just have a little latch on the glove box? Whatever, fine. And then auto wipers. I've heard complaints about that, but it rained today and I was pleased with how they worked. It was fine. You can set your Sentry Mode recordings. Here's how you adjust the mirrors. So you tap on that, and then it tells you like, hey, you know, and you can change left or right. You've got some settings there, which is kind of nice. So I think that's actually a pretty good little control. Same with the steering, if you want to adjust like the tilt and telescope, it's pretty great. Sentry Mode, obviously dash cam recording, all of that stuff. Pedals and steering. I've got it in standard. I don't need to chill. This car is 400 and some horsepower equivalent, and I'm using it, man. I'm fine with the standard steering. I don't need it any like quicker than that. That's cool. I've got it on hold mode because I don't like sitting on the brake when I'm at the stoplight. And slip start, we're not going to need. We're in Vegas. We already brought up the charging menu. Autopilot, this car actually has full self-driving, which, yeah, I don't know. I'm not that impressed, let's just say, but hey, if you like it, you do you, and I'm happy for you. I just wouldn't spend an extra 12 grand on it. Whatever. And here's how you can kind of like set your speed. I kind of don't like how when you're using autopilot, you know, it really is pretty intrusive as far as like what speed you can go. I shouldn't really give my commentary here. I just show you how to get to stuff. But anyway, I can't help it. I just don't like that. Locks. So I guess you got your keys. I'm assuming Empress's phone is probably the girl who owns this car. She was very nice. That's cool. And here's how you can like adjust all those like walk away things. We're gonna skip on past that. Headlights, dome lights. There's really not much in this menu. Display. And I haven't messed with this really at all, but that's cool. Bright. I didn't know you could do that. I guess if you need to clean the screen, you tap on that and then you can wipe it down without anything happening. Because this thing always turns on. Yeah, fine. So you can change from standard to metric, whatever. Trips. This is a good one. I like this. So it'll tell you like how much energy you've used. We've been using a lot of energy, partly because I've enjoyed like going fast, because this car does that really well. But the other thing is like we do a lot of just sitting. Like, you know, my daughter's 10 months old, so like she has to nurse sometimes, so we'll just run the AC and sit here. So we use a little more energy that way, but that's fine. Navigation. Yeah, and this one, I tend to like need to turn this up, and it tends to go back down. I don't know. I like having a little bit of cues, especially here in Vegas where I don't know where I'm going most of the time. So that's kind of cool. And then of course you can, you know, use HOV lanes. I like that. Safety. Brake is on. That's good. I appreciate that. I guess if you need to turn the car off, you can do it here. We're not going to mess with that. Speed limit mode. No. Let's go ahead and, yeah, don't tell me how fast I can go. Of course, follow the speed limit, unless I'm on a racetrack in Mexico, which, you know, I visit often. Sentry Mode, I guess we've got that off, because, I mean, I don't have access to this car anyway, so I don't know. Dash cam manual, I guess you can set it to on honk. If you know, you honk at somebody, it'll record the dash cam, and that's nice. Joe mode, that reduces the volume of your car's chimes. Yeah, okay. That's cool. It's nice to have that like option. You can set your pin to drive, glove box pin. That's also nice. And we do have cabin overheat protection on, which is admittedly a pretty nice feature. It's never been too hot in here. Guess you can find out your PSI of the tires. I haven't even looked at that. I don't know what car wash mode is. I really don't. But I guess that's so you can put it in neutral and run it through a car wash. Probably. Need to look into that. But yeah, pretty cool. And I guess wiper service mode if you have to change out the blades. So nice. Software showing the update. You've got the autopilot, full self-driving computer. One thing that's been super duper annoying is that like I cannot seem to do this update since I rented the car. I wasn't able to remember my Wi-Fi password at home. I know, shame on me, but I just couldn't, and so I wasn't able to hook up at home, and I haven't been able to like hook up to a Wi-Fi network anywhere to download the software update. I tried tethering to my phone, that didn't work. I did all of that, and it just no good. Upgrades, yeah, I guess that's fine. It's fully upgraded. I like that. The phone, you know the deal. I'm not gonna bring up my phone. This one, this is cool. This basically like, that's gonna bring up, you know, whatever I was listening to last. We don't need any copyright strikes, so we're not gonna mess with that. Right here, you can see also one of my very favorite buttons in the car, the little camera button right here. That's gonna pop that up, which is great. You can see the nice cable there, and you know, and this is nice because like it's after midnight. I'm gonna get out of the car. It's dark. I don't want to get killed. So that's super good. I can see if anyone's hiding out and, you know, crouching behind the car. Really, really safe feature, and also nice when you have to make a lane change. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. And then of course, dash cam. I haven't messed with this. Let's see what you got. I guess we got nothing. Oh. Hey, look at that. There's the dash cam. Oh, you can see what's in front, left and right. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think that's cool. Yeah, so that's neat. Energy. Start a trip. Okay, well, that'll tell you. Calendar. Okay, I don't have that. That's fine. If this were my car, you know, obviously. Messages. New messages will appear here. Okay, that's cool. I haven't messed with that either. Theater. You're going to have your Netflix, Hulu, all this stuff. This car has a subscription for premium connectivity, so I do have access to that. Although it's slow. I don't like it. The YouTube thing, that doesn't work too well. I haven't checked out Driven Dave on this, but you know, I'm sure it looks good. It's kind of laggy. Maybe on the 22 with the new AMD chip, maybe it's better, but I don't know. Here it says arcade. Of course, you can also toggle that up here. Wherever it says arcade. Yep. And got all these other things. I don't have the controller, so we can't play Sonic. My son really wanted to play Sonic, and so did I. But we haven't been able to make that happen yet. Solitaire, that works. There you go. I mean, there was another game like Beach Buggy Racing. I really wanted to play that. Download game update on Wi-Fi, and again, I haven't been able to get on Wi-Fi, so kind of bummer there. We go into the toy box. My son. You can just put a fart anywhere in the car, and you can even make it fart outside. So, I mean, it's just wonderful. Over here, fart on turn signal. I'm embarrassed to admit how hard we all laughed about that, but it's awesome. I mean, it's super gimmicky and stupid, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Light show we haven't done yet. We'll check that out. The Boombox is kind of neat. You can play music on the outside of the car. So cool. My son really likes the little tracks thing. He can make his own beats. And, you know, you can check out all of this. And then the browser, of course, is just, I think, a web browser. It's not very good, but it's there, so that's cool. Let's see, Spotify. I mean, you know how to do that. Bluetooth, if you need to connect your phone, just hit that. FM radio, I haven't tried that, but it has it. Karaoke is really fun, and check that out. And then tune in and Tidal. I don't have those services, so you can check that out for yourself. Also, sorry, I'll get out of that. If you tap right down here, you can see where it says, yeah, audio settings. So you can adjust the subwoofer and all the stuff. Really good stereo in this car. Sounds great. It's too bad the inside of the car rattles like hell. It's just not built very well. I'm sorry, Tesla fanboys. It's not. So a lot of the panels rattle just because it's got really good speakers. And this thing is held together with, you know, duct tape and chewing gum. I'm not saying it's not fun, but let's be honest. You put on something that bumps, it's going to rattle the car. At least this one. Maybe there are others that are quiet, but this one's kind of loud. But yeah, you got a nice little EQ there. You can change the balance really easily. That's great. You know, again, this touch screen is pretty cool. It's nice. And then options, not a lot of options. And your sources. There you go. So, I think I covered pretty much everything. It's kind of overwhelming at first, just because there's so many buttons and, you know, you can't figure out where anything is, but, you know, after a day or two, you kind of get used to it. On my test drive video, If you haven't seen it, check it out. I test drove a 2022 Model 3 long range. Actually put an order in on one. So before you start hating me, just know that I ordered one of these. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I ordered one. And where was I going with that? See, I shouldn't do videos at 12:14 a.m. But yeah, so yeah, I know what I was going to say. So on that video, I was test driving, and I just couldn't figure out how to use anything. And people were like, you know, it's too complicated. You shouldn't buy it. It's not too complicated, but you need to know where things are, and you need to know. You just need time to get to know it. Just like any car, but this one is a little less intuitive because they're only like 2 buttons. So, you know, most cars have a button to lock the doors. Most cars have a button to turn on the cruise control. You know, just everything's a little different in this car. So I think it's kind of fun. It's quirky. It's neat. I mean, it's a really good car. There's a lot to love and there's a lot to hate. So it is kind of a mixed bag. It's complicated. Kind of like, you know, you see on Facebook, relationship status. It's complicated. That's how I feel about this car. It's complicated. But hopefully all of this will kind of help you just kind of get to know your car better. Again, if you haven't bought one of these or you're thinking about buying one, now you know a little more about just how the touchscreen works. There are more features here that I'm sure I didn't touch on, but I think what I covered today is kind of what you'll need most times you drive. So with that being said, if you made it this far, thank you very much. Also, if you made it this far, I think you and I can be friends. So, you know, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And like I said earlier in the video, if you do subscribe, and even if you don't, drop me a comment, say hello, tell me where you're from, tell me what you're driving. You know, and I'd love to comment back and just say hello. So that's always kind of like the best part of YouTube. All right, my friends, whatever you're doing out there, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.